Hi. In the past 2 weeks, quite a few things happened related to China, which may be of big interest for you too. So today, I would like to share with you, so to say, my angle to view these events that may give you some inspiration. Yeah, I will talk about this release of the CFO of Huawei, Meng Wanzhou, to let her to return to China, and also I will mention the Chinese Lehman Brothers, this company called Evergrande, facing risk of collapse. And finally, I will also talk about the power interruption, the power cut-off in China that happened in 20 provinces. So, and before I continue, again, please check your subscription, that is still valid, yeah? And also, don't forget to click like when you like it afterwards, yeah? And of course, support us through Patreon and PayPal. Ladies and gentlemen, this dramatic development of the Huawei CFO was a kind of world news going through. Then suddenly, after 3 years of being, so to say, in prison, in house arrest, is the CFO of Huawei free again to return to China. Actually, she's not totally free because of being innocent, but actually, she signed some paper, okay? America and China make a deal again after a call from Xi Jinping to Joe Biden. And actually, Biden administration admitted that Xi Jinping requested him please to release Meng Wanzhou. And they make a deal, okay? It's interesting. A lot of people say that Donald Trump is a deal maker, but I think Joe Biden make even more deals. And sometimes also deals under the table. So we don't know exactly what sort of deals they have done, but certainly some deal. But in this deal, I see something which is, so to say, dangerous. And that is, you know that when a Canadian authority arrested CFO Meng Wanzhou, shortly after, China arrested 2 Canadians, yeah, using fabricated reason, yeah, and basically, it's quite obvious for me at that time. They took 2 Canadians as hostage, yeah, so that's. It started a kind of hostage diplomacy. So China was basically telling Canada, if you don't release Meng Wanzhou, I will keep these 2 Canadian guys jailed. Yeah. Why I'm 100% sure it was a hostage diplomacy? Because the same day, the Canadian authority, after the talk between Joe Biden and Xi Jinping, released Meng Wanzhou after she signed a statement of fact, which basically she admitted all the wrongdoing, with against the American sanction in Iran and so on. Same day or the day after, they released 2 Canadians. So for me, it's obvious. It's a hostage diplomacy. So what I think people of the world should be aware, it is very dangerous to accept hostage diplomacy. It's like with a criminal organization. If they take a hostage of someone or an organization, a politician or a millionaire or so, and blackmail for whatever they want to blackmail, and you accept the blackmail, this is dangerous. Yeah? It may for some people maybe think this is a small step, but actually is in the wrong direction. Yeah, and can have serious consequences. So this is what I would like to share with you about this CFO release. Yeah, this is CCP's hostage diplomacy. Talking about hostage diplomacy, I would also shortly mention the CCP's democracy, okay? They also talk about democracy. So they want to improve democracy in Hong Kong. You know what they say? Instead of keeping their promise of, let Hong Kong people rule Hong Kong, a high degree of autonomy, now they say, let patriots rule Hong Kong. So, and at first they stopped the election a year ago, and then they introduced the national security law, and now they helped Hong Kong to improve democracy. That means the parliamentary election, some 70 seats of parliamentary members, before 35 of them, I think, about half of them was electable. The other half is actually decided by CCP. Now they have improved the democracy by only giving 20 seats being electable. Well, that's CCP's democracy. So hostage diplomacy and inverted democracy. Now, another thing that has been reported frequently all around the world is one of China's biggest, I think they're the second biggest real estate development company, the Evergrande, one of the world's biggest. And they are facing big risk of collapse, bankruptcy. Now, these Evergrande things, if that collapse, most economists agree, it will be much bigger consequence than 2008 when Lehman Brothers in America collapsed. And so again, there are many experts saying that it will collapse and that will be a serious consequence. The Chinese economy meltdown and big consequence. Maybe, but remember, the forecast about China economy will collapse soon has been done for at least 10 years, but it's still going on. It's not collapsed. Why? Because I think many experts in West, they don't understand thoroughly that China has no market economy. Essentially, China has a planned economy. They let private company to work as if they were in a market economy, but the state can at any time, by any means, get themselves involved and take over the leadership, anytime. So, and every time when a big company is in danger or any economic risk, any bank or whatever, the state will spend billions to stop that collapse. They can always print more money, you see, but it only extends the collapse of the bubble, but the bubble will become bigger. It's like someone is dying and you try to make artificial breathing. You may extend the life for a while, but not forever. So I think Evergrande is again such situation. In a market economy, Evergrande should have gone bankrupt a long time ago. But in the Chinese so-called market economy, it's not market economy, it's state-planned economy. So the state, that means the Communist Party, they are going to, so to say, help this company not to collapse, or at least collapse in a controlled manner. So that it doesn't create a huge earthquake in the Chinese economy. What happened is many Chinese banks, national banks, they are money lender to Evergrande. So when Evergrande cannot pay their debt, so the whole Chinese economy will be in danger. Some people say if Evergrande collapses, the Chinese GDP will not be 8%, will not be 6%, but will only be 2% for the last year. So anyway, this is Chinese economy. Printing money, solving problem, can never solve the problem at the end. It just get problem bigger. So I'm sorry to say that every time they manage to, so to say, save a collapse, meaning that we are going to face a much bigger collapse. So the last thing I would like to comment about is recently, 20 provinces of China, provinces and cities, yeah? So basically half of China got a lot of power cut off. Power cut off, not because of accident or technical failure. No, they cut off the power. Yeah, say sorry without any warning, just poof, no power. Yeah, and it even led to many factories. All the machines stopped. Why? That some people think it's because the coal is too expensive, because they don't want to buy from Australia and all this. There are many theories. But none of this theory except one, which I think there is a truth in it. Because I know, I've been working with the power industry before, the Chinese power industry actually produce normally enough electric power for the industry and commerce and private use and so on. But how come that suddenly the need of energy is so much bigger that they do not manage to cover all? Remember, they don't cut off power everywhere in China, only somewhere, say half of China. Why? I think one theory, because we don't know, Chinese Communist Party is expert in keeping things secret, unnecessary. Everything stays secret, yeah? So we don't know why. But one theory I really consider, or I also ask you to consider, and that is the Communist Party want to give high priority right now to one type of industry, or two types actually of industries. One is the defense industry, weapon-making industry. Yeah? They should have priority for electric power. The other can be cut off, but not for them. And in particular, not only the normal conventional weapon manufacturing, but China is putting a lot of effort to produce hypersonic weapon, missiles, rockets that can fly 10 times that fast as sound. Yeah. So, and right now, to my knowledge, no country in this world have defense mechanism or defense weapon to shoot down hypersonic missiles. Okay. So both China and Russia spend a lot of effort in developing such weapon, because they think if they manage, they will be, ahead of America. And this kind of manufacturing need a tremendous amount of power, electric power. So, and the party has, make order to all the power utility company that they have the highest priority. And another thing that has very high priority is China has many big data center here and there over China. And they become so big, they store billions and billions and billions of information, or bytes of information. It's just we normal people can't even imagine how big the data amount is. And these centers suck a lot of power. And they also get the highest power, because all this data they collect from the whole world, yeah, they need it to develop artificial intelligence function, to put into their weapon system, to conquer the world. So I think this theory is very possible, very probable, and we have to watch out. Thank you for today. Bye-bye.